I'd like to start with a question. What would it mean to fully accept this moment exactly as it is? To accept the way the body feels, to accept the mood or emotion that's going on right now, to accept the thoughts that are arising in the mind. What would that feel like? And more generally, what's the difference in the body and the mind in a moment where we're fully accepting reality and in a moment where we're fighting it? Can you sense that difference? How does acceptance feel versus non-acceptance? When we talk about attitude in today's video, this is what we're talking about. Is our attitude one of accepting the present moment, or is it one of trying to fight it and reject it? When we talk about fighting or rejecting reality, I might use the word aversion. Aversion simply means wanting something to go away or not be here. I might also use the words craving or wanting, which mean wanting something to be here that's not here right now. When we're stuck in aversion or in craving or in wanting, we're fighting reality. We're not accepting it as it is. Typically, craving and aversion arise in the mind following pleasant and unpleasant sensations. We feel something pleasant, maybe a nice taste in the mouth or a beautiful sight, and we want more of it. It starts to go away and we try to get it back. Or maybe we smell something unpleasant, or we see something that disturbs us. Or we're around somebody and in us we feel bad moods arising and we want them to go away. These are very natural processes. They've allowed humans to evolve over the millennia. And in this practice, we're not trying to say that we need to accept things that are bad or harmful, or reject things that are good or healthy. In fact, it's very important that we continue to do what we need to do to sustain ourselves. Rather, the key is to bring a mindful awareness to the feeling of craving and aversion as they're arriving. You can still live a healthy life and make reasonable choices without being caught in the feeling of craving and aversion. So today's practice is going to be to bring mindfulness to the sensations of craving and aversion themselves, to bring a mindful awareness to accepting reality versus non-acceptance, to notice how those states feel in the mind and body. Let's begin. Find that posture that allows you to be upright and at ease. You can place the feet flat on the floor, allow the body to be upright. If you need something supporting your back, please feel free to do so. For those of you who feel most comfortable meditating with the eyes closed, you might allow the eyes to close. Otherwise, just let them rest somewhere in front of you with a soft, steady gaze. You might begin by softening the eyes and the muscles around the eyes, softening the brow and allowing it to be smooth. You might soften the muscles in the face, paying particular attention to the jaw and the tongue, allowing the tongue to soften at the root. You might give the shoulders permission to let go just a little more, and with each of the next few exhales, inviting them to fall down and away from the ears. Allowing the softening to move down through the arms and into the hands. Just sensing the aliveness and sensation in the arms and hands. You might notice any sensations in the chest and the heart space, pleasant or unpleasant, tight or open. And see if you can bring that softness and that tenderness to the chest. You might invite the awareness now down into the belly and see if the belly can soften even just a little bit. It might feel tight or hot, or constricted, sometimes nauseous. But even a little bit of tenderness and softening can help bring you into the body. You might invite the awareness to the seat and the lap, allowing all the muscles there to soften and the legs to soften. Allowing the awareness and the softening to move down through the thighs and the calves and into the feet. And you might widen the awareness now to sense this whole body. The pleasant sensations and the unpleasant sensations. And I'd invite you to notice here. Is craving or aversion also present? Is there a sense of wanting the body to feel a certain way, to feel different than it does right now? And if there is, just noting, oh, wanting the body to feel different, craving, or wanting this pain to go away, aversion. No need to judge the craving or aversion, just notice. And you might bring your awareness now to the mood and the emotions that are here. Are the mind and body angry or sad, giddy or calm, frustrated, bored? What is the emotional state present in the mind and body? And you might check in now with the attitude towards that emotional state. Is there acceptance? Does the attitude say that it's okay to feel just what you're feeling right now? Or are you craving something? You're trying to make the body feel calmer. Make the mind feel calmer. Push away the anger, the fear, the sadness. Are craving and aversion also present? You might bring the awareness now to the mind itself. Are the thoughts busy all over the place? Are they grabbing your attention? Or is the mind calmer and steadier? Is the mind awake and sharp, or is it a little dull? Can you watch the thoughts as they arise and pass away? And you might check now, what is the attitude towards the mind itself? Are you trying to make your mind calmer and steadier? Is there craving here? Are you judging the mind for being too busy or too distracted or too sleepy? Is there aversion? And just noticing, craving, aversion. And whenever you notice craving and aversion, the only thing to do is to bring a tender acceptance to it. Okay. Wanting things to be different feels like this. Self-judgment feels like this. Fighting reality feels like this. And for a few moments, you might simply allow the awareness to rest wherever it wants. The breath, the body, the mind, maybe the sounds in the room. For a few moments, see if you can notice when there's acceptance and when there's non-acceptance. And what does it feel like to accept reality just as it is? And when you're ready, you can open the eyes, bring the attention back. Maybe take a deep breath and move the body some. That practice is one of the most important practices. We can do it when we meditate, and actually we can do it at any moment in our lives. Are craving and aversion present, or are we accepting the moment as it is? As I noted before, there's nothing wrong with seeing craving and aversion. They're natural parts of our human bodies and minds. But the best thing we can do when we see them is to bring acceptance to them. If we try to fight aversion with aversion or craving with aversion, it won't work. It's like trying to make ourselves happier by berating ourselves for being unhappy. At any moment, no matter what's going on, you can pause and you can notice if you're accepting reality or rejecting it. And even if you're rejecting reality, you can bring a kind acceptance to that too.